Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Keykeys Doorway, Masculine and Feminine Energy, or Masculine and Feminine Reading. Doing a live tarot reading. Let me know if anybody's coming in. Yeah, August 4th, 2018. Wow, this is like the last month of the summer. It just went by so fast. Um, I'm just happy to be on this channel. I definitely wanted to this time show my face so you know who is actually walking with you or who is meeting with you when we go into Akashi Records together. That you're not alone. And that is a human flesh, yes, that is there um, learning alongside you, relearning, reliving, reloving who we truly are and the ways we are going to become. A lot of things have been going on, I know. So whoever's in, let me know. All right, let me make sure I can actually see the live chat. Let's make sure it's on. Yeah. All right. All right. Yep, it's on. Okay. If anybody's in there, let me know. Say hello. How you doing? What's good? Okay. Get the cards ready. See what's up. Yes. All the Keykeys subscribers, I will be greeting you guys on August the 8th, I believe. Yes, when we do the next um, weekly reading. I'll be having, like a nice shout out to you guys because y'all been there with me and walking with me, and I've been walking with you guys. So it's been a blast so far. A roller coaster. I'm not going to front. Definitely had to look within myself a lot, especially from the last reading that we had, the masculine and feminine reading, live reading we had last time. It definitely, on the 28th, it definitely had me look at how I view relationships from a childhood stance. Like, what influenced my view on having the opposite sex, on having an intimate relationship? What motivated me? And a lot of times I actually had to realize I was more myself. Who's up in here? Who is up in here? Hi, Eyes of Capricorn. Can you hear me? Say yes or no if you can hear me. Because I got to make sure we're in retrograde month right now. Hi, Eyes of Capricorn. What's going on? Okay, you can hear me? Good, good, good. Let me make sure I get the lighting on here. All right, so is it anything? Oh, you did? Okay, was it good? Was the notification good? I hope the notification was good. Because we are in the lion, the raw, the fire season. And a lot of our passion, desires, the things that we truly want, not the surface things. Ah, okay, good. Ah, perfect. All right, excellent, excellent. Oh, wow, good. See, I was just saying about Kiki's doorway, like walking with you guys. Like I wanted y'all to see at least my face, so it's not like okay, hold on. Wow, okay, I'll be definitely praying for you. Wow, that's so good news. Wow. Wow, that gives me joy. That gives me real joy. Wow. See, new direction. New direction. Wait, let me get my water. Let me get my water. I got my lemon water out here. Cause it be getting humid, then rainy. But hey, the plants got to get their nutrients too. They got a desire to grow with us, to give us that oxygen we need to keep living, right? Isaac Capricorn. Yes. So, wait, ask me a question. You the first one in here. I feel so good. All right. What do you want to ask me? Because I got the cards out. Yes, we all do. Like staying positive manifests what we truly want. Have you noticed that, like, when we really want something and we know that we had to do the steps to get it, it's not like it's going to be handed to it. I know you know, Capricorn, what that means to work hard and sustain yourself. But then you know what? When you turn around, you like, it was worth every step. It was worth every trial. It was worth every struggle because it makes you stronger, it makes you wiser, and makes you definitely able to look forward to the next journey ahead. That's what I was faced with for the last 2 weeks, is going after my true desire. Like, I love doing spiritual readings. So I looked at ways that I could do events or reach out further to you guys, like learning the live reading or doing live chat has helped me out immensely. I definitely want to challenge myself on reading, and you guys are helping me to better understand myself, especially, you know how that is, Isaac Capricorn, when you have natural abilities and talents and you want to know where it's going. Excuse me. Yeah, so you like, look, it's on to the next thing. I already know, you already know your skills, you already know your abilities. So it's like, you know what? It's about that time that I'll be moving on. And it's okay. It's just like when we were young, we never thought that, oh, after preschool or Head Start, that we would be going to the next grade. And then when we get to the next grade, we're like, oh my God, oh, I feel so good. I'm learning more about myself. Oh, I'm not going to go to the next level. And then when you realize every time you go to the next level, you're like, wow, I underestimated myself. And that's the funny thing. Wow, 17 years driving? You got that under your belt, please. You be, man, yeah, having a new direction will definitely give you an idea, as a Capricorn, of what you want to do once you get to that new job. Like, you probably be surprised on the level of opportunity they will give to you just based on your experience alone. And Capricorns are known to be very manageable, driven, focused, passionate, and you're good at getting people to work together. So who know? You might become a supervisor or start managing your own business. They allow you to manage your own truck, um, and see how you do. Like training people, you never know. So it's so good that you are going in that direction, Isaac Capricorn. Yeah, 2018, man, since the beginning. And we kind of felt it a little bit November, hard in December going into January. Like, okay, whatever's about to go down in the year of Aquarius is really going to be an eye opener. Like, you cannot say this year did not open your third eye, or at least have you think about what is a third eye and about how our brain, that we really haven't used all the way, is magical. Like, once we learn or relearn or relove how to use our brain and how to connect it to our hearts and our soul, man. And I think that's why we've been going through these things, is to have us see that. And Once we see it, what we're going to use it for and how we're going to use it. So let's see what our past life would like us to re relive. Relive. Let's see. Because if we're going to our next destination, we learn. We learn. We love, we learn, but did we live? Hmm. Well, if we're going in a new direction, we got to see what we're going to live towards, right? All right, Isaac Capricorn, let's see what we're living towards or reliving towards in our past. God, Gaia, God, Goddess, Mother, Father. What does our past life, what does the masculine and feminine energies want us to relive? There's too many cards. We're going to get a little more detail. What does the masculine and feminine energy want us to relive? What is the past life when it comes to our masculine and feminine energies want us to relive? Let's see. Let's see, Isaac Capricorn. Wow. Isaac Capricorn. What the masculine and feminine energies want us to do is to relive our mother. Ah, the mother principle. Or what was the principles that your mother, Isaac Capricorn, instilled in you when it came to moving forward? Was there anything that your mother ever told you that to this day, when you use it, it is a beacon for you? It's asking us to do that once more. Like for me, when my mom was alive and in her flesh, strange relationship. Okay, well, when you think of, like, okay, think about it. When we looked at our moms, right? We didn't see our mothers as a woman, like an individual woman. We just seen her as the mother, like mother hen or mother goose story, like the one that is always there to kiss the boo boo and to encourage us when we feel doubtful of ourselves, or when we get that moment of stopping because of our inner fears. Our mothers can become our nemesis for a minute, just to get us inspired or angry to move forward. What is it about that woman that you do respect about her? Like, it was something about the woman that you're connected to, Isaac Capricorn, that has some type of essence when it comes to mother. Like, I've noticed the partners I had in my life. Spiritual. Okay, see, yes, and I was just about to go into that. The men that I've connected to in my life since a young girl actually having a boyfriend. You know, like when you talk on the phone and your mom interrupts you and you're like, oh my God, but you're happy that you have something to look forward to the next day. Like, yeah. And that connections that you have when conversation, when you get to know that person, you realize like, oh, these are the traits that is going to be our foundation. That's what's going to make me inspired. It's going to make me want to see that within myself and see if I could bring that out too. So if your significant other is very spiritual and you're about to head into a direction that requires some leap of faith and understanding, then yeah, you would definitely need to be around a woman that exudes spiritual strength. And mothers always have that inner outer strength. But when it comes to our partners, sometimes we forget that they too would need to have that spiritual strength in them in whatever way it is seen or felt. It is, if you notice, like when you have that spiritual conversations with her, you start to feel more in line with yourself. Ah, wow. Okay. Well, well, if I'm hearing this correctly, she the female that is around you, let's say, has, just like you y'all both, if you really look at it, right? If you look at yourself as if you were your own movie, right? Looking in, like she's looking into the book to read to the children. Y'all both have similarities. Y'all both are go-getters. So that's one similarity that you do have. And you're about that family structure. So sometimes we got to ask ourselves, what, I think that's the interesting part. Like, I'm not dating either, but at the same time, while we're not dating, these are things that we should ask ourselves. Like, when we do meet that other person, or when we bump into a person that we're into, like, who's to say when you're about to go to your new destination that you might bump into someone on the airplane and have a great conversation with, that has that motherly essence or that spiritual type of connection that you didn't know you would vibe on a plane. You know, it's like a plane. You're expecting to get there, sit, chill, do what you gotta do, get your mind right, and then leave. But what if, and life is like that, what if stories, right? What if you actually have a conversation with a lovely woman that sparks your spiritual quest of self, but also other areas of yourself that you didn't think of asking? So when it comes to a mother is normally the one to ask the tough questions. The father figure usually supports it. Like, if we ask about how do we know when we are truly vibing with the opposite sex, we would most likely go to the mother, because that's the first gender that is going to be engaged a lot with not just men but with other women. So who better than to ask another woman about, the opposite sex? Even with a man, like, for me, when I wanted to know about the opposite sex, yeah, I asked my mom, but also asked male figures. But what really took me home was my mom, because mothers, we don't give them credit, but they keep it 100. Like, if you want them to tell you the truth and how things happen, then yeah, mother's going to sit down with you and really let you know, because now they're not seen as the mother. Now they're seen as the her. And the her within the mother has a lot of experience and still living it. So yeah, you might want to ask yourself, especially the masculine and feminine energies with us, should ask ourselves, what kind of feminine energies do we want our partners to have? Um, Even for men, like, when you are going to date, what kind of women are you going to look for? Are you going to look for other females that have that motherly energy, because you are also with a family structure, right? I'm also with a family. I have a daughter myself, so these are questions I have to ask. Ah, I'm definitely going to be coming through in North Carolina. I'm trying to figure out when, because now I'm seeing that traveling is definitely in the cards for me. It's just all about preparing for when that time comes. So I definitely got to have that nurturing side of myself intact to know when I engage with people to be understanding and be compassionate, but yet also show that I have discipline and I expect to be in engagement professionally. And if that means I have to show that other side of a mother, which is about structure, about being having a strong moral compass, then I that will be the case. With yes, these are things that again I even had to ask myself this whole last week. Ah, okay, so I'm definitely gonna check your Instagram out, Isaac Capricorn. Thank you. Thank you for that. So yeah, what do you think? When it comes to what our masculine and feminine energy want us to know about mothering. And you notice when you are with your son, at some point, right? Are you waiting? These I think these are questions even I have asked myself. Am I waiting for my daughter to be of age to think of dating? Or am I waiting to see a certain quality in a man that is motherly, nurturing? Because those are the traits that I would definitely need, because I cannot have a man in my life that is selfish and only cares about himself and is not influenced by children to make themselves want to be better. If they don't have these particular traits in them, it's not like I would dismiss them, but that will at least give me a blueprint on, okay, if I'm really taking having a commitment and a marriage, then I had to stand in my truth. And these are the things that I would have to see as my truth. That, yeah, I'm with my daughter all the time, but I also have a social life. I also have times where I want to go out to a movie, or sometimes I would like to go out for a walk. I love nature. I love being in parks and going to museums and aquariums and, going dancing, karaoke. So at some point, even my child would know that mommy or the mother also is a her and needs that balance. So when she becomes a mother, she will not feel that she has to always be what we see as society as a trait of a mother, which is always in the house, cooking and cleaning, having children, stopping their dreams, being concerned, not having that life. And then they live through us and we wonder why, because they've forgotten to have that balance. Or what if when they looked to their mother, that was the tradition that their mother showed them. So if we want that relationship at some point, if we want marriage at some point, or if we even simply just want to date, having that notion of, okay, it's time that we should see that being a parent is not a bad thing. Being a parent is not where you always going to just be around your children. At some point, even our children are going to be interested in the opposite sex. At some point, they're going to be interested in having just a social life of understanding who they are with other people. So when they're doing that, what are we left with? We're left with really revaluing ourselves. We looking at, okay, what are the hobbies that I would like to do? What are the interests that I would like to go back into? What are the new ventures or the new jobs or the new friends I would like? And that can become very scary. So at times I'm learning to push myself to do the things that I would do if I had a partner. So I take walks by myself. I go to the pier near the waters, and this relax and, think about things that as if I was talking with my partner. And I think from you going to this new job will help you with that new balance, because with a new job, it gives you a new energy, and you get to see a new atmosphere and a new energy, a new vibe. And then people and um, lounges and restaurants that they have is going to catch your eye. And like, you know what? I cannot do what I did when I was home. Like when we went to camp or when we went to go to our friend's house, that kind of put us in the element or gave us a permission in a way to stretch our wings and see how we are as a social person or a social butterfly, as they say. Oh, Baltimore, man, please. We got the food, the entertainment, the music, it, the people is going to be different. So it's like when you are surrounded by different, it's going to push you, and not push you, but it's going to give you that fresh breeze of exploring. Like, I just want to do it. I just want to, like Nike, just do it. So what else ah what else do I past life want us to relive? What's our past life want us to relive? Because if we got to be social butterflies, what did we do in our past to get us in that element? what did we what did we live as, or we relive to have that social status, or to feel comfortable being social? Oh, okay. Okay. What pushed us in our past was male and female. Now, Isaac Capricorn. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, what you do know, like when you in social gatherings with other parents and kids, it kind of, you gotta have that finesse to know how to talk to people to see if you can meet up outside of play dates. Because that's the thing. As parents, we think that meeting up with people is only through play dates, which is true. That's how we get into the groove of becoming social again with others. At the same time, it's like a safe zone for us too. Like, okay, just in case I don't see anyone of interest, at least I know that I have a good notion of my child being in a safe environment, that I have parents just like myself that understands the mechanics of living. So in a way, even though that's a safe haven, that's also a way where we could use as an outlet. Like, okay, we have a play date for our children. What about meeting up outside of play dates? Because a lot of parents, we forget that we would need at least a couple hours of being social. Even if you don't have a whole day, having 2 3 hours, 4 or 5 is really good, and that gives you a time to relearn and relive how we are as an individual along with being a parent. So if we deny ourselves that opportunity to become social, this can happen. Like that disconnect of not understanding, like they are attracted to each other, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be in this photo. They wouldn't be in this picture. One would have their own picture saying male, and one would have the other picture saying female. And based on the expression, will let us know what direction emotionally we will head or who we will meet. But in this one, is both the masculine and feminine energy is there, yet they're not turning around to engage in the conversation. It's like one is afraid to say something that will sound too shallow or rigid, and the other one is afraid of, oh, if I express my emotions, I'm going to be just seen as the female. And based on how he's reacting to what we talked about, I don't know. Or based on how she felt when I was saying it, I don't know. yet they still want to give that opportunity a chance. So, ah, good. So that's a good thing. So, if since you know when it comes to parenting, that's down solid. Parenting for us is solid. That's not, I believe, the issue. The masculine feminine energy within us is also realizing, like a pie, right? You know how when we were in school we did a pie chart. In that pie, what do we put as importance to us? At some point in my life, I put being a parent at least 60-65%, and then work, then friends. Not once did I put spiritual reading, not once did I put tarot reading, not once did I put singing, not once did I put dancing again, not once did I put going out to events that I would be into, not once did I even put dating. And then I would wonder why at times, yes, I love my child, and yes, I love my friends, and yes, I love my job. Yet when I go home, I can't just always speak to my daughter, especially about topics that is both male and female. That gets us back to that warm and coziness of basic relationships. Like sometimes we think that relationships just require, oh, you're now my boyfriend and you're my girlfriend. No, it could simply, obviously, just start off as boy meets girl, girl meets boy, man meets woman, woman meets man. And like any new person, you really don't know what to expect. We don't know what would be the traits in them, like the flaws that they have. Would we understand them, or would we feel irritated by them? The the discipline that they have, would we be admired by it, or would we feel aggravated? These are things that we are noticing we really don't want anymore. Like, yes, we have that social life when it comes to our children. Yes, we have the jobs that we're trying to either maintain or move up in. But when you get older and you turn around or you just stand still, what is it that you would want around you? Like, I want uh, a nurturing man, an understanding father figure for my child, a person that sees my child as they see their own child, a man that also knows that we are human beings and we should have a social life, and go out and go on vacations, and think about the now and in the future. Passionate, loving, knows how to express it and know how at times to show it too. um, Appreciate the simple things in life and appreciate even the things that they work into. Making a family business, leaving a legacy. Hey, what's going on? Who's up in here? Somebody else up in here? Who up in here? Who is up in the house? Yeah, me and Isaac Capricorn, we getting in with it. We are getting in. Welcome. Yeah, we getting in with it. And it it's like those are questions, and that's the things that I started to realize I wanted before Isaac Capricorn and those that are on this channel right now. I was not into commitment. I seen mothering as a curse. Like, oh, if I become a mother, it's bad enough that a man doesn't see me as a woman, but once they marry me, they're gonna feel like I'm their slave, and that I should just cook, clean for them, and nurture them, and care for them, and care for the kids, and just give, without receiving. So at times when I had men in my life that wanted to marry me, I would not say no, but I would pretty much ignore it and just sustain this being a girlfriend, which was not fair for them, because then that's when this happened. When I wasn't truthful about what I really wanted at that time, which was just a man to see me as an equal, for me to feel that love, that unconditional love, to want to marry and to want to have that family life. I wanted to first feel like an equal. I didn't want to keep feeling like what this picture is showing. I really didn't. And at times, it would be hard for me to express that to the male in my life, because it was like talking to myself. Like, if I say these things, this man would think that I'm probably not a woman. I'm too logical. I'm not showing my emotions, but at the same time, I was. And then I realized, oh, they're looking for that mother side of myself. And when I would give it, my fear became a reality. I started to realize when I was showing that motherly side without saying to that person, having a closed mouth, right? And just thinking, because I'm a Taurus, oh, my actions will show that I'm motherly, instead of me admitting that I'm motherly to this man. What still happened is that disconnect, because a person is not going to just always see what you're saying, right? You could do the actions all day, but if they don't know your codes, it's like playing picture rate, or playing the picture game when you had to draw a picture and act it out for your partner to guess it. If they don't know how you swag and how you move, when you actually display that motherly side or that fatherly side to that partner, they're going to be even more confused. Going to be like, wait, first of all, I didn't even know if you want a commitment. And now I'm wondering, if you want commitment, is this how I'm going to be shown that? Like, I'm always going to be shown that and not being said it? We like to be said it and shown. When our mothers uh, told us we did a good job on our homework, or that we are a good um, daughter and a good son, and that the traits that they seen, we were happy that they noticed it, because no one else that were around us the most, not even our friends, would notice that in such details like our mother did. So it was just like, wow, I see now why it's important that our masculine and feminine energies want us to relive, why appreciation is not just through actions, it's also through words. This is why when we were younger, we never really knew if a boy or girl really liked us, because what did they do? They pushed us, teased us, joked on us. That was, in a way, negative appreciation. However, when we got to that state of seeing, at some point we had to have a love in our lives to say, you know what, I love that you are a father figure. I love that you care about your son. I love that you look after your household, because if you didn't care about your son, then you wouldn't have a place to live physically and spiritually. I love that in order for you to be a father, you would have to have that motherly side of yourself in cooking, cleaning, reading, making sure that your son is educated. That shows that you are also a leader if it came time for marriage, to look up to you, to learn from you. What if the woman, or sometimes as a mother, we like to learn from the masculine side of parenting, because we're used to always mothering. But when we're with a man, we find other ways to mother without smothering. You dig me? You feel me, Isaac Capricorn? Let's see. I'm not. Yes, of course. When it comes to the person that made our children, that's, we see why we made children with the partners that we did have. It's not a negative thing I'm saying. Sometimes we have negative experiences in relationships, and sometimes we have positive experience in relationships. Our masculine and feminine energies want us to know what was the positive things. That's why when I was mentioning to you, Isaac Capricorn, about the things that a female would admire about a father that is raising their child, these are the conversations that you will start to have. When we were teenagers, the conversations that our partner will probably have with us would be, oh, I like that you play sports, or I like that you're into your education, or I like that you want to find a part-time job while you're in school. These are the things, because that was of that time period. But now, based on your age, will determine what kind of discussion that you will have based on that mother principle and that father principle. I can't now go to a partner or someone I'm dating now and say, hey, do you still like to do fart noises when people sit down? I would have asked that when I was younger. Um, if I'm really comfortable with that man, which would mean we would have to have those engaging, nurturing conversations, and like storytelling of our lives before we met each other, for us to kind of feel each other out on how to joke, and not even how to joke, on really showing that side of ourselves. And that's what the feminine energies, the masculine and the feminine energies, want us to see. That we need to relive how we act when we are naturally in love with ourselves. When we love ourselves, the people we attract brings out that childhood, brings out that motherly side, brings out that fatherly side. It brings out also our will, like our competitive side, so right, and how to really be friends. It starts from when we were little. We learn from our brothers and sisters, from our cousins, from people we met in school, how to engage with the opposite sex. But at the same time, we also learn the emotions and what it takes to physically show appreciation to the people that we care about, to have them turn around and say, yo, I didn't know, or madam, I didn't know that you saw me like that. I'm so used to the tie and the suit, but you actually know that I like to fish, that I like to take walks, and I like to hold hands. Like, people that work with me don't even know that about me. How did you see that? Like, those are the things that gives us that notion of, wow, is this how future or present relationships can look when it evolves? Is this how, when our elders and our moms and dads said, start off as friends? Because when you start off as friends, everything is neutral. You can be yourself, but don't hide yourself. And that was the thing that I was faced with. I didn't want whoever comes in my life to feel that they had to hide themselves, that they had to hide that motherly side of themselves, or that they had to hide that masculine side of themselves. I actually want to see that, because in order for us to really know who we are truly connected to, we got to go through the journey walking in life with each other, right? And in order for us to truly walk in life with each other, we really got to see each other for real, and not just on the light tip. Yeah, it's hard to really be friends, because it's like, then, because how do we view friendship? Like, for me, friendship required me to say, okay, I like to hang out. So when I have a guy that likes me, I'm like, look, I like to go out to the park. I like doing picnics. Um, do you like going to movies? Do you like playing basketball? Like, I just like to chill, but I don't know what you think. A friendship, like, what do you think friendship is? Like, I like you, right? Like, yes, I know you like me, but in order for me to really have us be into each other on a more solid foundation, then yeah, I need to see how you flow. And I need you to see how I flow. So when we decide to have a relationship, we'll know and turn around and say, oh, you know what? I see why we both have tailor-made suits on. I see why we have that conservative streak about us. But at the same time, I also know that we have avenues that we want to explore, but we're afraid to say it out loud because of our age or because of our social status or because of our finances. Like, some things in life are free. Like, if you gotta go and get some sandwich meat and make some sandwiches like we used to, pack them in a book bag, and walk to a museum. This the journey walking to the museum is gonna be hilarious because it's like the people you might meet going there, the conversations you're gonna have, even the location. One of the locations that y'all go to is like, oh snap, I was here when I was younger, and then y'all have a conversation that gives y'all to have that bond. Hi, Miss M or Sunita. Hi, Sunita. How you doing? And we in the season of the sun, Ra, Leo. Yeah, we need to have that passion. Uh-huh, yeah, girl. Look, we need to have that passion. We need to have that sun to to give us that sunshine, to bring that sunshine back in and stop being so stiff. We stiff, but I don't think we met being stiff. You know what I mean? I don't think we met being stiff. Let's see what the angels cards say about that. Let's see what the angels cards say, guys. Cause the past lives is telling us that we kind of being each other's stalemates. Even if we're not seeing anybody, we're being a stalemate to ourselves in a way. Like, we got to figure out how to be social butterflies. Or what is being social? What is, if we had to be your friends to ourselves, what would it be? Like, for me, I like going to Zumba. Like, every Saturday at 11, I couldn't go today because it was raining. I was so sad. So I would just dance in the house. I put on some Spanish, put on my Celia Cruz, put on my Mark Anthony, and started just creating my own Zumba repetition for a minute. Then did a little yoga, and then said, okay, what else do I want to do, friend? Kiki, what do you want to do as a friend? Oh, I want to watch, mythology, and I want to see what's good about other zodiacs and how they are socially. Maybe I could learn from them, because like I said, I learned through each sign as we walk through the Akashi records. It's teaching me how to re-love myself. How do we live myself again? How to relearn? Because we think because we're living that we shouldn't relearn and relive anything about ourselves. And that's not true. I think every moment that we get, we should ask ourselves, what is that friend side of ourselves? What is that boyfriend, girlfriend side of ourselves? What is that sensual side of ourselves? What is that bad boy, bad girl side of ourselves? What does that competitive side look like? What do these faces and characters of ourselves look like on the outside? We so used to having it inside, and we wonder why when we meet people, when we click, how at times it doesn't feel right, or we feel like we don't want to have them be our cup running over. We want to have our cup already full, and they just overflow it. Like, I want to be moist all over. You know what I mean? Like, I want to feel already filled and just be more filled and more compassionate. So let's see. What does our and masculine and feminine energies want us to know about social? What does our masculine and feminine energies want us to know about being social? What does our masculine and feminine energies want us to know about being social? What does our masculine and feminine energies want us to know about relearning? What does our masculine and feminine energies want us to know about relearning being social? What does our masculine and feminine energies want us to know while we learning. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We got a couple cards coming out. Hold on. Let me make sure. What does our masculine and feminine energies want us to learn about being social? It's telling us, guys. Wow, we got fire up in here, guys. Yes, Sunita, we got some fire. The masculine and feminine energies want us to know that we gotta have some fire in us. We gotta get that fire back in our booty. You know how moms used to say, "Oh, you want to go out? You gotta look the part. You don't want to look like you just going out. You don't want to go in your pajama clothes. You want to go out like you want to have some go out gear. You want to make sure you smelling right, your hair looking good, you feeling good. And the masculine energy is like, yeah, I want to be able to say what, because this is covering you up. I want to see what's past that jacket. What's past that? Cause it look like you got ruffles, and if I'm not mistaken, probably some lace or something. So you might be showing your front, and you covering it up. What you covering it up for? You wonder why I'm turning around. I want to see you. I want you to peel off that coat. I want you to peel off that coat of doubt of yourself because you're beautiful. You're so beautiful. That's why I'm leaning on you because I still want to feel that body heat. I want to feel more of that heat if you take off that coat and you take a dance with me on the dance floor. They looking for that 3 of fire. They looking for that passion, desire, and motivation. That passion, desire, motivation. And we got the dragon. And the dragon animal totem is all about combining our spiritual desires. So the masculine and feminine energies want us to know that whatever we're driving towards when it comes to love and when it comes to connections to friends, to our significant other, stop going out. Why you stop going out, Sunita? Have you been going out all the time? Because, girl, I'm going to tell you, I've been in also, but I also had to push myself to go out, and I realized, like, even like, for example, every Saturday at 11 to 12, I go to the Zumba class. And I noticed that when I do that 1 hour, I feel so sexy. So you haven't gone out a lot? Okay, so Sunita, all the masculine and feminine energies tonight. This week, right? I'm not a social butterfly. I can be. Okay, so go out with your girlfriends. Sunita? Have you been talking to your girlfriends? Because you got some threes up in here. We got threes, so we got some friends that we could talk to. We got some family members or some cousins that we could connect to again, and go out on a scene. Okay, you got some friends, hit them up. It don't have to be like, oh, I gotta go to a club and sweat it out. Nah, even if it's on some, oh, I want to just go to a restaurant. I want to just go out for wine and eat with my girls and just chit chat. You know how we do when we have some drinks and we talk, or even when we just going out to the movie. Like, girl, come on, girls, let's go out to the movies. We haven't been out in a while. Let's go. And when you with your girlfriends, it's like being young again. Like, wow, we going out, we cutting loose, we feeling light. We want to be light as a feather. We want to have that essence with us. Okay, so ask your friends if they would like to go out to a spiritual event with you. That way you can get 2-for-1 special. Not only are you still connected to your spiritual side of yourself, you can also invite your friends and have them tap into their spiritual side while being social. You never know. Ah, you too? Well, if you're going to spiritual events, that means that connecting with people will be your next thing in line. Like, if you're going to spiritual events, they're going to have others that's like you or have similar traits that you're into. They're going to have that passion, that will, and that desire to connect with themselves spiritually. Just because we're spiritual doesn't mean that we're not social. This is why we have to have events to remind us that this is how we grow, is through other people. This is how we connect. So when you go to your next spiritual event, Sunita, connect, like, you know how when you were in school and you introduce yourself, or when you was at a event, you had to introduce yourself and have a name tag or something of that nature. Introduce yourself to people you feel you vibe with. Like if you're into spiritual events, then that means that you already have your third eye open and that you're very intuitive. So you would feel in that room who can vibe and gel with you. Once you feel people out in the room, then it's your time to start connecting. When you do that, abundance and things will start looking good. Very good. Have patience at this time. And sometimes we do need to have patience, especially when we go into a social event and we're kind of pushing ourselves to be social. Make the long term goals. Meaning, every time that you go to a spiritual event or go to an event, like when we did at a party, we felt the vibe on who to know who to dance with. So even with our girlfriends, we knew, oh, hey girl, we got to dance to this song because it's awesome. When we did that, we were in line with our spiritual side. We were aligned with our flesh, and we were aligned with our higher self. We always sometimes feel like those things have to be separate, but it doesn't. It lives with us, so it rides out with us every time. So when we are up with us a conflict or a issue, it starts to say, okay, what can we do since we are your flesh, since we are your brain, since we are your soul? What can we do to make this easier? Well, I'm going to spiritual events and I'm trying to figure out how to connect. Well, go back to the times where when you connect with people, it was successful. What did you do that made it successful? Were you open? Did you show your shy side? Did you say a conversation or a topic that made a person click to you? Those are things that you want to implement when you want to connect with new people. That's the same things that I'm gonna have to do myself, Miss Sunita. When we do that, we're going to be outgoing, and we're definitely going to have creative ways of being social, like going back to our childhood, going back to events in our lives where we were seen as popular, when we were seen as outgoing or very bright and light, where people were just magnetic to us. Go back to those memories and ask yourself, what made me confident? What made me a little mischievous? And it would cause people to be magnetic to me. Those would be the same tools that I could use in the now and in the future. When I do that, then news will start to become more exciting, and then we'll start to have those new endeavors because we're stepping out of our comfort zone while being in our comfort zone, meaning we're in environments that we are comfortable in, yet we're putting ourselves in a situation to kind of have the uncomfortability. It is a little mischievous because when we're uncomfortable, people feel like, oh, I want to rescue you and I want to, save you. Even though we know, like, we don't really need to be saved. We're just nervous right now. But hey, if that's what's going to get me to connect to you, by all means. Or when we show that confidence while being cocky in a way, you never know. What if a person that's next to you was asking for someone to bring in that confidence or that cockiness, and here you come with your cockiness or your flavor or your fire, and that's what they feel they're lacking. Now you have a connection. Now you have that friend that can build with you, and you can build with that person. You're very spiritual. So if they're going on about their problems, is it the environment that is it everywhere you go, Miss Anita, that people tell you about their problems, or is it when you go to events that talk about spirituality that people tell you about their problems? Because for me, if I'm walking or like if I'm with somebody and I'm talking about spirituality, that's when they get the cue to tell me their situation. But if I'm talking about music, sensuality, um, about relationships on like that childhood way, that's when they actually refocus on what they're talking about. So it's the event. So if you're going to a social event, then then we have to start expecting that people are going to talk to us like that. So when they start to get to know you, that's what same thing with me as well. I think that with a lot of spiritual healers, we get that as a test to get us to balance that out. So when we ever come across those situations, we got to ask ourselves: are we in that energized mood to go there, or are we in that playful mood, that child mood to go further? Because if we are, then it's like, okay, then we got to be a little mischievous on how to divert the person. You know how when we wanted a cookie or we wanted candy, and our mom and dad said nah because of the time, and they said, oh, okay, if you eat candy, it's gonna make you hyper. Then or if you eat late at night, it's gonna make you have a bad dream, and you wanted that pizza so bad, like, mama, I won't ask you tomorrow if you just let me. And then if they say no, then we had to find another mischievous way to get what we wanted. Yeah, we might have had that bad dream, but it was worth the way we connived our parents and manipulated them to get what we wanted, or gave them a diversion. Like if we didn't want to get punished, or if we didn't want them to have that talk of what we were doing wrong and stuff, we're like, oh, mom and dad, you're so nice, and oh, you're so thoughtful, you care about me, and I know I be giving you a hard time, and it's ridiculous. I know I'm made of you, and you know how we try to sound mature at a young age, and they know we trying that nonsense, but they let us ride with it, and then they be like, you know what? At least they said it, so I didn't have to say it, so I ain't gonna have to talk. That's how we gotta, for spiritual healers like you and I and others on this channel, or for others that are watching that has that similar situation, Miss Anita. If you're a spiritual healer out there, or if you're very intuitive, is very psychic, one of our karmic lessons is to realize that the people that do come in our lives will probably have issues that they're trying to learn, and they feel that they could learn it through us. And that could become a problem if we at some point start to feel attraction to them and not see them as I don't like to say it like this, like a patient, but a person. We see people as people, and sometimes we feel like they're coming to us as a patient. How do we separate that? It's going to take some creativity and being outgoing. So that means we're going to have to step out our element. So how do we be mischievous in the situation? Like for me, when I go through this situation with people, like when they want to tell me about their problems, I'll listen to them first, because first you want to do listen to what they got to say. It's the polite thing to do. But once you see where they're going with it, and you see or you hear it's a similar problem that they had before, especially if they came to you about this, then having a creative way of letting them see the light side of it. Like, oh, you know what? You know, we all go through cheating situations, or we all go through breakups. Like, yeah, I thought that was my twin flame or my soulmate too. But you know what? Just like a twin flame and a soulmate, it can burn out. So not unless you're trying to figure out how to relight that twin or that flame again, what's really bothering you? And then they kind of like, oh, yeah, you know what? I think I do know that, and it's because you kind of pointed at a situation. You kind of pointed at the real meat of the matter without directly saying it to them. Because if you directly said, oh, what I feel is right now you're going through withdrawal, and you might feel that you want to connect with that person again, but what if it's not the right time? You actually got to test yourself on letting go. Did you ever try letting go before? But why are you saying it like that? I mean, I believe this is my soulmate. Yes, this could be your soulmate. This could be twin flame. If you're trying to save it, would you need to let it go? It's like, would you water a plant a lot? No, because if you do, it can die or drown. You gotta water it and watch to see how much water it needs. And when it's dry, you'll see the soil get real dry and it doesn't look dark anymore. That's when you know it's about that time. So that meant that you had to have restraint. Oh, what you trying to say? I don't have it. Then you're left with sounding. Now you gotta heal that part. So for all the healers out there, the masculine and feminine energies that are having that similar situation with their partner. You know, what if you're a partner out there and you're having a issue with the same topic of commitment or trust, or how to have a relationship, or how to have a marriage, or how do you know, those questions that always seem to bump us along the way. We need to start becoming creative, because if we want to actually be seen as a person and not like a healer all the time, then we got to show that we are a person. So we got to show that personality, our own personality. And what does that look like? That's why I was asking earlier, what is that mother side of you? What is that father side of you? What is that childlike side of you, both man and woman? If you're looking to just have a friendship with a person, ask yourself, what would be your own friend? If you, like Beyonce say, me, myself, and I, it's all I have at the end. It's what I found out. You know, like me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. Oh, yeah. Me, myself, and I. Like, if you were your own friend, how would you be? So when you, or if you want a lover, how would you want that lover to be? Then just be that. That's what I'm doing. Like, if I want that person to be spontaneous and adventurous, I'm actually pushing myself to be my spontaneous and adventurous. Now I'm going to start going to see if I could go to museums on my own, or go and call my girlfriends and my male friends. You know, I have male friends. We have female and male friends out there that we could connect to get us back. Because you know what? We have male and female friends that we got to reconnect with. We got female, male cousins that we could reconnect with to get us that stigma of being stagnant. Cause it's new endeavors that's is lurking for us, guys, and we got to be original and have that ingenuity. Be genuine. If you want something, be genuine about it. You want to go out and be social, go out and be social. If you like being alone, Miss Sunita, then find retreats that when you're alone, you also could feel good and feel loved. It's like we gotta start looking at places, like looking at retreats or hotels or local events that we could we could be social but also be secluded, like going to spas, going to saunas, um, finding places that you can have that one-on-one time with yourself and pamper yourself. That's having fun. That's being social, because when we pamper ourselves and have fun, you notice how we attract the very people that have that same notion too. Yes, people. Yeah. Well, we all are energy, Mr. Nita, and like energy, it can be like a battery. Doesn't batteries drain, and then we got to charge it? I had to put it in the freezer so it could recharge, or put it in some cold climate. And how do you feel about that when you go to saunas and when you go to places that you feel pampered? Does it make you feel good about yourself? Let me know about that, because I'm about to embark on that. Miss Eyes of Capricorn was just letting me know that going out, or at least finding, like, being a parent and finding that space to be social is a challenge, because what is that? What does it take to be social? What do we see as social? Do we see being social being alone? Because being social can be alone. Like, I'm a loner. I love being alone. I play music. I write music. I dance. I meditate. I relax, and it keeps me in that mood. So when I do engage with other people, I'm in that loving manner. I'm very magnetic when I have that space to myself. So keep doing that. If that's what's charging Miss Anita, keep doing that, because once we're supercharged, then we have that energy to tackle what we want. If you want to be in that space, finding events that will allow, or places that will allow you to be alone would be great. Oh, let me see what else. What does the action card want us to know about? What do we want to be learned? What is it that we want to be learned, Miss Sunita? Ask me a question, Miss Sunita. What do you want? What are you thinking about tonight? What are you thinking about tonight? Because this is a masculine and feminine reading. So what are you thinking about? Yeah, 'cause I love music. Music gets me in that sensual vibe. It gets me in that adventurous side where at times, even when I'm listening to music in the house, it makes me want to listen to music while I'm walking outside and dance outside. And when I do that, it's funny. I end up meeting people when I'm doing that because I'm in my own zone. I'm listening to my music on my own. I'm dancing by myself. You know when you walking and you're just moving, right? Imagine you walking and dancing. And people looking at you like, yeah, and they start to dance too, and they get that vibe and that energy. The next thing you know, it's like an energy, a good energy just takes over, and it makes you just look at things. Wow, what was you doing before, Miss Anita? Because if definitely if you're a healer, then healers are very great teachers, very great counselors, um, life coaches, mentors. Okay. Okay, well, we're about to go towards school season, right? So it doesn't hurt to apply um, to teaching jobs, or like how I started. I didn't start off just teaching. I started off volunteering at my daughter's school when she was a young child, to give me an idea of how to teach her when she's at home with me, because that's my only child. So like any first time parent, you want to make sure you're doing things correctly, and you don't want your child coming back like you didn't do this, and So I volunteered, and the more I volunteered, the more the teachers and the parents came up to me and said, "I see that you're really good with the children, and they're starting to learn more on a deeper level. Are you interested in teaching?" And I was scared to teach because I didn't really see myself as a teacher. Even though I teach people, this is the funny part. I teach people, but I never see myself as a teacher. Meaning, I don't have a degree to say yes, I'm a teacher. I have a bachelor's in English. Um, I have 5+ years in music training and vocal coaching. But to say teaching, like to have I felt that I needed a degree to teach, and I found out that's not the case. So I end up applying, and then yeah, I started as a teacher assistant, and then yeah, consultant part time now. Okay, so that's great. Definitely look into part time tutoring jobs or part time teaching jobs. I mean, now they have after schools where you could volunteer after school or be a counselor for children. Even counseling is a form of teaching, and they get paid. Um, yeah, we're about to go towards school season, so that would be the perfect time to find out about volunteering, or if you're looking to make this as a career, or if to see how it can turn into a career. Definitely do part time in that field, like part time in teaching. So if you want to work for yourself, now they have a thing called Fiverr, Fiverr, where you can actually put what you would like to teach people or what you would like to help people with, and then you can make money on there as well. Definitely look at Indeed, Craigslist. Um, if you're looking to work for yourself, definitely go within your local neighbor, like the people that know you. Um, chart like say, hey, I would like to teach, and what really think about what you want if you have that if you have that opportunity, right? When you take that time to sit down with yourself, right? Ask yourself. I feel it too that you should be teaching. I keep stressing the teaching part and ways to like tell you without directly tell you, like ways that you can teach. If you want to start your own business. Oh my God. Then definitely, um, they're now, check out like spaces, like they're holistic stores, right? Holistic stores, holistic practitioners, or holistic shops, like holistic shops. Like, you know how when you go to the grocery store, they now have holistic shops. They're looking for people that have Reiki, that are certified Reiki, like certified in Reiki, certified in spiritual reading, massage therapy, and see if you can rent a space or collaborate with them. Like, yeah, I could provide the Reiki while, while you're doing that. That builds their business. So see if, like, definitely put your, definitely make a portfolio of, like, a resume of your spiritual, like, make a spiritual resume. That's a better way of saying it. Make a spiritual resume, right? And look at holistic shops, holistic places that you've been always interested in. Like, if you would to work there or to rent out a space to practice Reiki, apply there. Apply there. You get what I'm saying? Like, make your spiritual resume. I gotta actually have to do that now. I'm now making a site where it breaks down what I'm doing here, but even in more detail, because I do shea butters for skin and hair. I also do sage for to cleanse the home or to recharge candles. That's why when I do the readings, you see that. So I'm gonna pull out a card for you. Do you want a past life card or do you want an angel's card, Miss Anita? Let me know. While I put my sage on, cause I gotta make sure it's on fire. Make sure it's on fire. Make sure. Make sure. Cause I mix different herbs and spices with my sage, and I just wanted to have that going. Okay. Okay, past life. Okay. So let's get this out the way. Thank you. I have different types of sage. I have one that's with Gigi. This one today is with Kamol. And um, roses, rose petals, um, basil, eucalyptus, lemon. Yeah, like I like to, and I research herbs and spices before I even make it in my shea butter, because my daughter and I have eczema, and she had it very severely. So I had to really relearn how to make products that can heal not only her skin but mine as well. And once my skin started to clear and my daughter's, people were asking me, and I didn't realize that I could make that into a business. So I started crystal clear beauty products on my Etsy page as well, and I gotta get back to that as well. So when you was talking about spiritual teaching, what does Sunita's past life want her to know? What does Sunita's past life want her to know in regards to her life mission? What does Sunita's past life want her to know about her past life? What does Sunita's past life want her to know about her life mission? What does Sunita's past life want her? Okay, hold on. Oh, wow. Well. Miss Sunita, you got ships, baby. Whatever you're thinking about doing, you got to do it. If you're thinking about teaching, teach, because it's sailing you towards your life mission. If you just said you're a Reiki teacher, a Reiki instructor, a Reiki master. Now it's the time to sail with those talents and do it as a career. Even if you want to start off as a part-time, do it as a part-time. Look at your schedule right now, Miss Anita, and see what amount of hours or hour can you do in your spiritual practice. Reiki. Wow, it's affected. What your life, what your talent as a teacher, a spiritual healer, helps the community. When you travel, Miss Anita, towards your life mission, meaning the job that you're looking for, you already know it. It's Miss Anita, you're a spiritual healer. You're a spiritual healer. That means you're made to teach. You're made to life coach. You're made to do what they call it, spiritual teachings. Even teaching your craft to others is a trait as well. Training others to be Reiki instructors is. I also wanted to learn Reiki, and I'm trying to find the proper finances to actually take up Reiki classes. So now what I actually had to do, Miss Anita, is make a spiritual resume and apply to jobs this week that will allow me space to do my spiritual readings, that will allow me to have my sage out to promote my sage magic work, my candle works with sage, to also bring out the crystal clear when it comes to holistic healing with the body and skin. Same thing for you, Mrs. Anita. Wow. Okay. So since you're done with that and it's funny, August the 10th, number one. 1 plus 0, 1. So you, Miss Anita, with the skills, with the source to move forward. The masculine and feminine energies tonight need us to know that the talents that we have, we can make a profession out of them. The dreams that we thought were just childish, no. Those childish notions actually have created us to be more grounded in our spiritual self, to help us be more grounded in our natural abilities and talents, that when we do display them publicly, the community actually responds. So, Miss Anita, from August 10th to the end, going into September, show that Reiki side of yourself. Find ways that you can practice Reiki as a profession, whether that mean like renting out a vendor, finding locations that need Reiki masters right now. They'll pay you to actually work for them, because a lot of people need that inner healing. I wouldn't be doing this channel if I didn't see that I needed inner healing for myself. And besides singing and dancing, I also use the cards. I also talk to Source. I also read the Bible, the Quran, research about angels, mythology, to help me be grounded. So when I do decide to teach children and adults, I feel more grounded. So yes, Anita, you already know. You already got the master plan. And it's going to help the community. So if you're concerned that your life mission as a Reiki master will not pay the bills, it will. If you're concerned that Reiki teaching will not inspire others to be healed and to want to learn the craft themselves and to make it into a curriculum even in schools, it will start to come once you take sail. Once you get on this boat, you're the captain. You're now the sailor of the sea. You're number 12. You're the end of the zodiac. You're about to move forth into a whole new direction that is going to remake and rebuild the very structures that we at times felt barren with. So your mission is so important. And it affects your love life. It also brings love into your life. The masculine and feminine energies in us want us to know, Miss Anita, that our talents, me being a spiritual reader, is pushing me to want it as a profession and a career. So now I have my website about to be functional this week. I'm now starting to think about ways to look at teaching or to even do spiritual reading. I'm also looking at how to incorporate crystal clear, and also I make jewelry as well. And a lot of, like, I have crystals. This helps me with my energy. It helps me feel grounded. It gets me on that plane that I need. And just like the clothes that we wear, the colors that we wear, the things that we put in our hair, into our bodies influence the very way that we demonstrate that love, that spiritual love, that unconditional love. Try Wix. Wix. Hold on, let me double check, okay? Let me double check for you, Miss Anita. And if for any masculine and feminine energies out there that is interested in making their abilities into a profession, definitely websites are definitely a way to go, because you can have the opportunity to record yourself and put it on your web page, and that gives people an understanding of what you do visually as well. Wix. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think it's Wix. Go into this. I'm still looking. I'm still looking, Miss Anita. Still looking. Because I take a lot of notes. Every time I do readings, I take notes. And I practice them as best as I can to better myself. Yes, Wix.com, okay? Wix.com. That will be a good place where you can make your web page of your Reiki as well. And it's very easy, mama. It is very easy. One, two, three. Like, you can actually, it's not like you have to do it all in one day. They have templates where you could pick pictures out in the way you want your website to look. If you have pictures yourself that you download on your phone, you can actually put it on your USB drive. So when it asks for images, you can put it on to your Wix account, and that can be your picture for your website. So it gives you all the tools that you would need to start your website. It's very easy. They have very cheap plans from from $6 to, I think the highest is 30. And it gives you really good perks, like you get your domain name, so when you create your Reiki web page, no one will have that name but you. So when you have your own Instagram or your own Twitter account with that name, they know how to connect to your web page as well, and you could also put that on your web page. And if you need help, they have a great customer service to call or to type. It's very simple. Hey, Susie 3311678. Okay, them numbers add up to Scorpio. Are you a Scorpio, Miss Susie? Are you a water sign? Yeah, so Miss Anita, or all the masculine and feminine energies that is looking to create their natural abilities and talents as a profession and take it seriously, like Sierra, level up, go to Wix.com, and it's very simple. It goes along with you. If you need more time, you save your web page, and then when you get back onto your account, you can continue where you left off. You a water sign, Miss Susie? Ow. Don't worry, I'm crying too, and my opposite sign is Scorpio, okay? I'm a Taurus, but my opposite sign is Scorpio. So do not feel that you're gonna be the only one. Cause I had to like calm my tears down today. Like, I'm doing detox, and I have my lemon water, and like being clear minded, and then you gotta like, but then you feel so stuffy, and you just want to break free, but then you're trying to figure out how to break free, and then like things are coming at you where you gotta solve, you can't avoid them. You a Taurus too, Miss Anita? Oh wow. So come on now, Miss Anita. Go to Wix. Don't be fronting on yourself. You the sun, Sanita. You got the sun in your name. You got Ra in your name. You got the Aries, Sagittarius, and definitely the Leo. You in the month of the Leo. Use this opportunity after the 10th, mama, to do your life mission. Guys, Miss Susie 3311. Whatever your life mission is, or whatever your desire is and what you want to do, now's the time to take sail. Now's the time to take the lead. Now's the time to be in the driver's seat and no longer in the passenger seat. Taurus, Miss Anita, we happen to sometimes like to be in the passenger seat because we like to be nice and give the people in our lives the opportunity to drive us in the direction they see fit. But what we don't realize is it's our car, and we should be in the driver's seat and have the people that we care about in the passenger side, and let them know that we gonna take them to the next destination. We gonna take them higher. And they know this. So we got to trust that within ourselves, guys. We got to trust that the goods that we have in ourselves, the abilities that we have in ourselves, wants us to explore them and explore them in the community, explore them wherever we go. Because, see, yeah, exactly, Susie, exactly, Sanita. Yep, we got to take sail because we know what time it is. And the more we try to stale, the more we try to procrastinate, and not procrastinate in the sake of we're afraid, but we know when we about to get on that sail, it's going to take us in so many places, so many worlds that we ain't going to know what to do with ourselves. And I think that's probably why we were standing still for a minute, because we know once we get on this boat, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. But we shouldn't be afraid of that, because love is going to be there waiting for us in our career. We're going to love our jobs. We're going to love what we show the world because we love it. See, if you notice how when we were younger, people say, do what you love. When we were little, we always felt, I'm going to always do what I love. And then along the way, we forgot that. And then we kind of denied it, and we kind of stifled it. And then we wonder why our love life was affecting it. It's because we wasn't showing us outwardly what we are. When we do that, you notice how people start to come to us like, wow, you look different. Or wow, it's something about you is different. What is that? And it's like, I'm just loving myself. Oh, snap. So what was you doing before? Hiding? You were hiding? You trying to be nice to us? Don't hide the light. Okay, we can't hide the light no more, guys. Susie 3311, Sanita, everybody, all the masculine and feminine energies tonight. We cannot hide our light no more. No mas. Because when we dim that light, then the light starts to dim everywhere we go. And imagine a world like that. Imagine if we did not have the sun. Then the world would be barren. The world would be dark. And we had the dark ages before. If you don't know about it, read it. Go on YouTube and watch it. I don't think we want that in our lives. I don't even think we want to portray that in ourselves. Let me see what Susie got to say. Come on, let me see. Yo, thin air is crazy. Yo, I feel you. I had to have two Geminis in my life for like 10 plus years to show me that we already had that element in us. We just didn't feel confident in it. And when we feel confident in how we speak of our talents and how we speak of our truths, then people have no choice but to respect it, admire it, and want to do the same for themselves. Like, it's people that I've known since I was a child that recently came up to me. Now I vocal coach. I'm now pushing myself to vocal coach. And I'm teaching a dancer before she does her first showcase this August 28th how to not be afraid of her voice. Now, mind you, I told you I didn't see myself as a teacher, but yet I teach. Right? So now I had to trust in my teaching. I said, okay, I'm going to trust that I can vocally train someone. The basics. This the basics. And the basics to me is very important. So I started with her on breathing and doing la 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 la, and teaching her how to harmonize and how to breathe correctly, and what are the side effects of feeling lightheaded, and you kind of feel like you're high, which is crazy because when you sing you actually are more clear. And this teaching her these things and where I learned them, her voice got stronger, and she started to want to play with her voice. She started to be happy that her voice did not sound like mine. She started to love her voice. And that's really what was my main mission, is to have people love their voice. If you can speak, you can sing. If you are not speaking, if you have a hearing problem and you are tapping, that is speaking. Then I will teach you an instrument that will teach you how to project that in singing. Again, I had to trust that whatever I learned in my life, whether it was hard or not, that when it comes time to teach another, I know that I have the receipts and I have the references to say I know what I'm saying and I know what I'm doing. And I think that's what the masculine and feminine energies want us to also relive, that we do know what we are meant to do. We are actually practicing these things right now. So now it's time to take it up a notch. This is why the music that we were hearing, the music that we are hearing, the people that we're engaging with right now is in a way putting that mirror back on us to say, I see you. I see your talent and I want to show you my talent now. I see that you're ambitious, so I want to show that ambitious side. Man, I thought I learned that too, Miss Susie, and I'm a Taurus. But guess what? Until we go to the next plane, we always are going to be learning. We always going to be learning something new. Even things that we think we already learned. You notice how when you read a book that you love and then you something says, go back and read that book again. And you read, you be like, what? I didn't notice that before. I didn't feel that sensation before when I read that book. But I love this book. How did you feel that before? It's because now you're a different age. Now you have different emotions. Now you had different relationships. You know, that when you read things, now that's also going to be implemented. Let me read what Susie and the rest of the gang is saying up in here. Yes, and Einstein said information is not knowledge. Experience is knowledge. Experience is everything. That's why when we look for jobs, what were they quick to say? You need to have personal or life experiences, or what they call it. You got to have experience, meaning you got to have that work experience, meaning you actually had to be in that job to have the experience, right? Which didn't make no sense if I'm going to school to gain that experience. But then what my mother would tell me is, if you really are interested in what you're picking up as a job, do that something part time. If you're in school, pick it up as a part time job. So when I wanted to sing, I would volunteer with my friends on a train and sing and get money for that, or I would teach people how to songwrite for like $10, and that adds up. Yeah, recovery. We don't. You don't. Susie 3311, Miss 8, Miss Scorpio, Miss Intuitive, the Akashi records that I'm speaking to. You don't need to. You learned the lesson of letting go. Now it's about what we're learning is we're getting people in our lives to test to see if we did learn the letting go. Like, I had to let someone that I care about go, and it was very hard. It was hard because I get tired of letting go on people. I get tired of being alone. I get tired of knowing who I am spiritually and learning about spirituality and helping people. And when it's time for me, I don't get that back. I get tired of that. And then I'm like, why, God? Why, Gaia? Why? What do you want me to see? Yeah, I got to let this person go. Yeah, now I know. What is it? And I just had to realize, wow, I'm now seeing that I have noticed that I had to let this person go. Before, I had to live the life of what it would feel to have that situation happen, to have let somebody go. Like when they say watch for the red flags, I'm like, what do you mean watch for the red flags? I actually had to have a relationship that had red flags. Before I would dismiss it and say, oh, that's just a person's character or personality. We all have vices, we all have flaws, we all have, good days and bad days. I can't hold that person accountable. We all have free will. But then when it was affecting me emotionally, when it was affecting me physically, like I would physically get sick, from me not having that connection or that equality, I had to stop that and say, hey, rather than walk with this person, I got to see the red flags for what it is now. Now that I experienced hurt to the most degree where I felt angry and felt ashamed that I walked back into a situation like that. This was a different face, but it was different face, but similar feelings. I said, okay, what should I do? Should I walk with this person and see maybe this person is different than what I learned before? Or should I take what I learned as a spiritual healer, as a spiritual teacher, as a spiritual coach, and say, okay, I know this is red flags. If I really love this person, I gotta let them go to have them heal themselves. I cannot heal them. They have a free will. The only thing that I can help them with is things that they come to me with. And that's one thing that I had to learn as a spiritual teacher and a spiritual healer. That just because you can spiritually heal someone don't mean that you should just spiritually heal people. Sometimes they don't want to be healed. That's like telling somebody, hey, you know what can make you healthy right now if you stop smoking and drinking. What if they actually need to smoke and drink to realize the effects of it, so when they do stop, they have the grounding and the ability to move ahead and to move past their vice, and to see that they had love for themselves. They just didn't see how to love themselves without that vice, and to not see it as a vice, but to see it as it was something to help me as a portal. When I smoked or when I was drinking, it helped me to see things in a way that if I was sober, I'd have probably took it negatively. And looking at that from different perspective. Now, let me see what Susie got to say. Let me see what this page, what everybody in Kiki's doorway saying. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I had to let people that I care about go, not because I don't care about them, but because I know if I stay around them, I'm going to become their crutch. Because if they see me as a spiritual person, they see me as a spiritual teacher, and they tell you this, then we cannot be surprised that they're going to use that. If I don't got to pay and go to see a therapist or counselor, and I got a friend or a loved one that is a spiritual teacher, a spiritual reader, I'll go to them and get it for free, right? Guess what? They're not getting it for free, because now we got to say, hey, I see this as a profession. I see this as my career. I see this as my life calling. And nothing in this life is for free. Even the things that we want to do, we had to walk it and learn it and live it. So if you are not prepared to compensate for me, or if you're not prepared to book a session with me, then I truly cannot help you, because now you're using me. And as a spiritual person, I cannot be used, because there's other souls out there that would need my energy. And if I'm not in that mind state, if I'm not loving who I am and loving my own mission, then I cannot help the community. And that's going to be a problem. So now I got to have now boundaries. As a spiritual person, now you got to have boundaries. And when you have boundaries, when you do meet people that you love and want to have as a partner, then they will know what to expect, because you already are living it. This is why we have to constantly let go right now. We have to let go to test ourselves to say, do we know how to really let go? Or was we saying we learned the lessons of letting go, but when we get a new person with those similar traits, are we going to stay there, or are we going to see the strength, that lion in ourselves, that heart of a lion in ourselves, and have that will to say, I can't shape your will, but what I can say is, I love you and I love your life, that your will means more important to me than what you're asking me of. Because what you're asking me is to sacrifice something to help you. And if I really got to help you, I got to let you go. And if you really see me as a healer, like you know I am, then you're going to have to do it like any other job, any profession. You will have to call me and book a session. I know it sounds harsh, but when we practice that, then we will start to have gratitude and appreciation for our talents and gifts. Because if we don't have appreciation for our talents and gifts, then that love won't be there. And if love is not there, then the things that you say you love, that we say we love, we will stop. And I can tell you from experience, I love to sing. I love to help people. And when my mom passed away in 2003, when I was 19 years old, I stopped singing for 15 years. And I can tell you, I felt like I was literally dying. I didn't feel like living. I just felt like a walking corpse. Like, I know I was brushing my teeth. I know I was washing my face. I know people were still calling, like talking to me, but I wasn't responding. Like, they could tell I was not there. And something in me got fiery. It was when I had my daughter. like after my first miscarriage, when I actually had my daughter now, it made me wake up and say, hey, I cannot do that. I gotta do the things I love. So I started re-singing. I started retraining my voice. I started to work out more because at one point I seen body image as a problem. Like, oh, you got to be skinny to be accepted in entertainment, or you got to look this way to have people accept you. And I had to realize, no, I got to love me and what God made me as and work with that. So if that means exercising healthily, then do that. If that means drinking more lemon water like I'm doing now, do that. That's all right. Do what you feel to do. So let's see what the angels say we should do when it comes to actions. Cause it can be very exhausting. Sometimes you just feel like, you know what, screw this, I'm out. You just feel like doing a rain check. Like, you know what, I don't think nobody would care if I stop doing what I do. I don't think anybody gonna notice anyway. And you know what's funny? They do. And to the point that you start to notice it. And if you start to feel it, then you realize like you still can't run from yourself. We still can't run from ourselves. Like, even if we don't have the love of our lives right now, what is it that you love to do? We should be doing it right now. Because if we don't do that, then what do we expect in our lives to come to us on? What? This to hand it to us? No. Because if we had it handed to us, we'd be first thing to say, oh, I don't believe it's true. And then we self-sabotage it. And that's not true. That's not good to do. Let's see what that angel's card said. What should we relearn about ourselves? What does the masculine and feminine energies want us to relearn about us? Oh, I'm sorry. Not relearn. Relive about ourselves. What does the masculine and feminine energies want us to relive about ourselves? Does the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves want us to relive? They want us to relive. Relive. Sometimes we think relive requires us just to wake up. Like, nah. It requires us to re-look at things that we thought we shouldn't do and do it. Or have fun. Like, have fun. Yeah, taking of you, right, Miss Anita. Taking of yourself. Yes. Wow. Awakening. What we should be relearning, Miss Anita. Mm-hmm. And Miss Susie 3311 and the masculine feminine energies on this channel right now tonight is that we gotta reawaken that masculine, feminine, and spirit side of ourselves. The masculine side is about what drives us, what we compete for, what we know our calling is, and do it. That feminine energy in us want us to be nurturing and to not be so harsh on ourselves and to take things as it is. Like, whenever it comes in our way, to acknowledge it, to appreciate it, because you never know what can happen tomorrow. You never know what can happen the rest of the day. And then what do you want? To go in and come back in the next body and do it all over again? No. So it's telling us to reawaken that spirit too. The third, the communication. We are communicative people. We're human beings. We got the room to explore. We got the trumpets. It's ready. We got the horns. We got the angels. We got all that. It's so much energy in us. Yes, it feels draining right now because it's about to charge the fuck up. Like, we're going to be so exhausted that it's going to turn into anger, and then the anger is going to turn into, you know what, you know about what? I'm about to do this. And then that's going to wake us up to do the very things that we deny ourselves of. Or we think, I got time. Nah, do it right now. Look at things from a different perspective. A temporary standstill it's important to be yourself. A temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So we were just talking about that a second ago, like thinking about what is it that we want to do before we stay sail, and do it. Like, if you're a spiritual teacher, a spiritual healer, make that into a profession. If you're into being social right now, then find hobbies or arts and crafts or things that you could do for 30 minutes or an hour that require you to be around people other than yourself. If you want to be alone more and you're trying to find ways to be more in tune, even taking meditation classes or yoga workshops, that keeps you centered. And even though you are around a group of people, when you're meditating, you forget that you even with people. I know for me, I do. Infinity breathing, I'm gonna put that on. Thank you, Susie. I'm gonna put that on Kiki's doorway reference. If not reference, definitely the I might, you know what, Kiki's doorway meditation, I'm gonna put that in there. Infinite breathing, I'm gonna put that on there. I haven't seen that before. And practicing infinite breathing. It's our ego telling us that it's pointless and boring because we're looking for something else. We're looking for that extra because it's like anything that we do in repetition, doesn't it become boring after a while? So we have to add another element to that repetition to keep focus, or to keep that enthusiasm, or that drive, or that spark to it. Like, I like to sing, but I try different ways to sing. Like, sometimes I sing in opera, sometimes I sing in gospel. At times I'll be like, I'll sing punk rock music, or I'll make up a song, or sometimes I'm happy and optimistic, and sometimes I feel like fucking cursing. And then I have to be okay with that, because that's this expression of me wanting to come out, and it wants to be awakened. Because when I used to suppress that part of myself, then I would become physically sick or emotionally sick, and it didn't it I just didn't like it. I was just like, and then when you gotta face your ego, you're like, wait a minute, why do I gotta face that about my ego? Like, okay, yeah, I know I got an ego, yeah, I know I like that, but what is it? Why do I gotta relook at that? I'm gonna put that on there. Sun Solation Yoga. I'm gonna put that on Kiki's Doorway Meditation. Oh, it's great in the evening? Sun Salutation Yoga is great in the evening. Or the infinite breathing. I'm gonna put both on there anyway. I'm gonna try that. Thank you, because like I was saying earlier, like, I'm detoxing and I'm looking at things in different perspective, like it says, in a clear way. And at times I don't be liking what I see. I'm like, wow. Sometimes I be feel like we use each other in this world, and we don't appreciate each other. We don't even acknowledge that appreciation is required. Besides just using people. Oh, okay. So light meditation. Okay. So I'm going to put that in the meditation, Kiki's Doorway meditation reference. And then the breathing, I probably will put into the reference. So the sun salation yoga will put into Kiki's Doorway reference, and then the light, then the infinite breathing I will put into the meditation, and the sun salation salutation, I'm sorry, sun salutation yoga I will put into the meditation in Kiki's Doorway. Yeah, let me write that down. But yeah, definitely looking at like the ego. Like, there's nothing wrong with our ego. Is it sometimes how we were raised, and how we had to look at ego was always negative. Like, whenever we seen the ego, it was always on a bullying stance, or it was always on a competitive to see who's the winner and who's the loser. It was always to see who was the smartest and who was dumb. It was never on some, I want to compete to see my level of how I could go with this person, or I appreciate that this person wants to compete with me so I can learn from that person and them learning from me. So when it came time to who's the winner and the loser, we really didn't care less, because even if you said I was the loser, I didn't feel like it, because I gained more because I wasn't running alone, or I wasn't competing by myself. So let me write that down in my book, in my good book. Okay. So let me go back to the notes to the chat so I can write that down correctly, Miss Sunita. Thank you for the suggestions. I love y'all suggestions because it's helping me, guys. It's definitely helping me. But yeah, I could tell you the ego is not. The ego makes you feel like it's the sun burning your ass real quick. Like you got the mean sunburn, and you got to put some cream or olive oil, olive plant on that. I'm writing this down. Reference. Let me make sure. Infinity breathing. Put that on the meditation, like I said. Okay. Yes, like the ego for me, how I seen ego was very negative. I used to look at it like, oh, I always got to compete with somebody else's ego to make them know that I'm just as important as them, or I gotta prove my personality to another with my ego, so they know to respect me and to value that what I say is just as genuine as them. But I never felt good about it. It made me feel like I had to go into a negative space or like a real dark way. Like it didn't. It wasn't like I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the energy, but it was just like, what was the real intention? Like if it's no real intention, but just to see who's good or bad or whatever, I don't really don't care for that. But if it's to help better both of us, then I don't mind the competitiveness. Because even if I had to go to that dark space, I know why I'm doing it. I know why it. I know the intentions. So I think that's really my quest is like the ego and people's intentions. I gotta work with because I know my intentions, but I do not know others. So that's something that I gotta awaken in myself. When we do that, we become that source again. See, we go back to the zero. We become that source. We become the source that people already know we are, but we are now acknowledging that, wow, this is the reason why people are coming to me. This is the reason why people come to you for advice, or why they come to you for love suggestions, why they like your magnetism, or why they like your drive, and why they want to find out who they are spiritually. It's because we're a walking vessel of what source would be in a human form. We are God and Goddess in human form right now. And I think that's why at times we feel very tired and we feel very annoyed. It's like having centuries of fighting the same battle over and over again with just different people. It's like, oh God, for God's sakes. When they gotta slap it into people or something, then you know about free will. You're like, wow, I get we all got free will, but people act like they don't want they will at all. They don't even want to practice it. So are you, Miss Anita. You are a very blessed soul. Especially you're a spiritual reader. You're a spiritual healer. You, you're already embarking on a quest that a lot of people are nervous to do. That's why they're coming to you. You get me? That's why they come to you, Susie. That's why they come to you. You know, for that explanation of the unknown. Like, what is source? How does source look? And you be like, well, you are source. You're a human being. How you are is what God would be, or goddess would be right now. No matter what you do. And I mean, no matter what you do, you can hide all that vice and all your flaws all you want, but that's what makes you godly. That's what makes you a goddess. Because I would not come to somebody if they didn't experience pain. I would not come to somebody if they didn't experience who they are spiritually. I would not come to somebody if they don't even know who they are when they're angry. I notice when I'm angry, I become more spiritual. I become more visual on what I say because I know whatever I'm angry about might hurt that person. So I got to be very clear, crystal clear on how I express my emotions. And I tap into that Scorpio side very quickly. Like, okay, you want to know what I feel like? I feel like I'm being, I feel like you're having sex with me without lubricant. And everybody know if you're intimate that you need lubricant in your life, or else you'll be burning and hurting. And I feel like you're hurting my heart right now. Or if I had to say, whenever you come to me for guidance, I feel loved. However, you do not acknowledge that I have that gift in me. So I start to now feel like you're using me. And if I feel like I'm used, then I will start to pull back. And if you think I'm playing, try me. Like Source, try. And you'll see what will be birthed out. We already 12. We already the last sign of the zodiac. All we got to do now is become the 13th sign. Yeah, 13th sign. Wow, really, Sunita? How is it? How is the India spiritual retreats? My best friend, she's on that quest to go into an Indian retreat too for spirituality. And she's working on that. And her goals and her talents in yoga, because she's been teaching me yoga, basic yoga, comedic yoga, and it's helped my body so much that I was 199 pounds last year. Now I'm 148, and that was with Zumba and comedic yoga, and my and dance instructor from Danceology. She's a dance instructor for Danceology. She's been teaching me how to appreciate body through dancing. And that's helped me lose weight too. And it helped me with my spiritual groundingness as well. So let's see. What else do we got in store for us? Because we're about to head into the 13th sign. If we got zero, right? If we got zero, zero plus one, one. Zero plus two, two. One plus two is three. 13. What does the 13th sign look like? Does anybody know that? Does anybody know about the 13th sign? I'm trying to figure that out myself, because if we're going through the same repeated pattern, then obviously we supposed to go up to the next level, like graduation. After the 12th grade, we got to go to 13, right? Wow, Miss Sunita, your mom taught you? Wow. 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 You know what? And Sunita, go to your mom and ask her, like, what ways can you start your spiritual business? What ways can you start your spiritual business, Sunita, or your spiritual career? Because if your mother's been teaching you since 10 and she's very spiritual herself, you never know. Y'all could do a mother-daughter project when it comes to spiritual healing. Because a lot of people don't really see that when it comes to mother and daughter, or this women helping others through holistic or practices, or spiritual practices. And definitely when it comes to different age groups, nice to see that. Or even just asking her, oh, okay, I get you. Well, at least she helps you on your spiritual. She helps you with the spiritual tools. That's good. We can't. You know, we got what we got. We got the cards that we were dealt. That's a beautiful thing, because some parents be afraid to teach spiritual practices, or be afraid to teach anything spiritual. People would rather teach you something religious or something academically before they would ever think about teaching you something spiritual, because spiritual requires you to learn about who they are as an individual, because based on their individuality will show you exactly the portals they will go through their spiritual journey, or what they would spiritually be teaching you. Yeah, gone through karmic relationships myself. And I'm starting to notice I don't want no more karmic relationships. I don't need to learn. If I gotta learn something, it's to learn more about me and how I'm going to be more grounded in how I view relationships. Meaning, the reason why I got into karmic relationships is because I didn't want to speak up for myself. The reason why I got into karmic relationship is because I was afraid to actually be an equal to a man. The reason why I got into karmic relationships is because I was afraid to even show my spiritual abilities. not even to my own family or to myself. So now that I started to master that, now the next thing that will come into my life is people that are spiritually inclined, people that are more driven and nurturing. And how am I going to deal with that? Because I'm more feeling like that's going to be the next lesson. Past life or angel? Okay. Past life, Sunita, past life or angel card? What does Sunita past life want her to relearn or relive about herself? Angel, okay, so angel card, good. What does Sunita's what does Sunita's what does Sunita masculine and feminine want her to relive about herself? Wow, Sunita. Your masculine and feminine energy wants you to know and reliving that you are the ten of water. You are Capricorn. You are the boss of the waters. You are that mother and father of the water. You're very intuitive. You know you have your masculine, your feminine, your spirit, and the childlike innocence that is about to embark on this new journey. See how the young child is acknowledging that innocence in himself too? That's you. And the family is right there. A contented and rewarded family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. So when you were saying about those common relationships, they're over. The 10 is completion. The things that you were supposed to learn, Miss Anita, you already learned it. Now, just have faith that whatever's coming your way is, yeah, going to probably challenge to see if you have learned it. But once you show Miss Anita that you learned it, I'm telling you, it's going to come back around and say, hey, I didn't know if you were really about that life. Now that I know that you for real, I really want to show you my compassionate side. I want to show you how I love someone. I want to show you how I nurture someone like you. I want to show you how I treat somebody like you now. Because before I didn't know if you were for real, because I met someone kind of like you and they weren't for real, but they had those elements of being real. Where when I seen you and you had those similar energies, I was afraid of it. So I showed that negative side, or that insecurity side of myself. Or whoever comes into your world is going to be well balanced. They're going to have their finances in order. They're going to have their spirituality intact. They're going to know exactly how to give and how to take. And when it comes to your life mission, they're going to be supportive of you in that quest rather than compete, or rather make you feel like you're less than, or make you feel like, oh, you should pick something else. They're gonna be like, no, I actually could see that in you. Actually, I really see you doing it a little bit even more. Why are you not even doing this? So that they're gonna make you actually relive the love that you have for your life mission. So you're on the right track. Keep going. See, 50 years, girl. You a master. You the elder. I'm 34. So do when I say, if I'm 34 and I'm telling you that you already completed your karmic lessons, that you already completed the tools that you need to move forward, now you're gonna sail to your next destination with so much breeze, so much intensity that people gonna be like, oh my God, how can I get on her boat? You gonna have to worry, you gonna have to figure out which ones you want on your boat or not. Oh yeah, I'm a young chick. I'm young, but my voice, I feel like I'm already, I feel 64. But my soul feels like I'm 164. Cause some things in my life, I'd be like, I already lived this before, and not even in this life. I lived it in the last life. That's why I know about it in this one. Then when people try to play me and test me, I'm like, okay, let me show you that I know it. And then when I show them it, they be like, oh my God, but you're young. How did you know that? And I had to remind them, I'm a seer, I'm a reader. I'm not going to deny anymore that I'm a mystical, magical person. So, yeah, I went into the Akashi Records. I asked for Project. I listened to my dreams. Yeah, and I found out about Chick-play. Yeah. So, if you thought you could play them little preschool games, I'm going to be that teacher to give you a F for flunking. You guys will go with the rest of the flock that failed. Get it right. Better luck next time. Now, I didn't sound like this a year ago. I didn't sound like this 2 years ago. I didn't sound like this 15 years ago. If you would have told me, I'd have been more stronger in myself and stronger in my spirituality and in the way I want to be loved, and meaning I wouldn't even settle, I'd have thought you were playing. I'd have thought, because I always felt like I was cursed, like, oh, I would never get love, or I would never get that life mission, or I would never have people accept me for who I am, or figure that I care about them and I love them unconditionally. And I'm starting to see, oh no, that's the opposite. People are coming to me because they see the light in me like I see the light in them. And if they don't see the light in themselves, then maybe I shouldn't be around them right now. That's just how it is. And I had a 1969 mother. Her birthday is August 19th, 1969. So imagine that type of influence on an 84-year-old, 84-year baby. I was born in 1984. So imagine that. I found out about my gifts, Miss Lenita, from my mother, because she was sick. She had HIV. She told me when I was 9. So from the time I was literally, I could say 9 to 16, I started to learn that I was astral projecting, and I had to like eventually tell my mom why I would freak out or why I was very quiet at some point. And then that's when she told me, like, oh, do you know your grandmother was a Santeria, or did you know that the reason why your grandfather was teaching you about spirituality and about Quran and about Buddha and about Jesus and his travels is so you can be safe with your spirituality. And then I never had the opportunity to tell my mom that I wanted to tarot card read because I felt like it would go against Christianity side of myself. And yet I have a wonderful Leo friend that did spiritual readings and showed me her deck of cards, and I've been fascinated with it. So she gave me a Wicca book, and I didn't want to read it because I felt afraid that I was denying God, or like accepting the Satan side of myself. And then I'm like, wait a minute, didn't my grandfather teach me that Satan is God's favorite angel, that he was a part of the cherubim, a part of the choir? That would explain why I love to sing and why people say, yeah, I'm an angel, but I could be a demon at times. So it's just like, oh, okay. So when my mom was getting sick, she was like, baby, I think you should really read this because it could help me. And what did she give me? What my friend gave me years ago was the Wiccan book. And I said, Mom, why would you give me a pagan book and we're a Christian? She said, baby, we're not all Christian. Your grandfather is not just a Christian. Your great-grandfather was not just a pastor. Like, he taught not just Christianity. He taught the Quran. He taught astrology, numerology. Like, why do you think he taught you that way? You thought he was just doing that just for sport? No. I was like, oh, okay. We just didn't outwardly speak like that. I'm the new generation, so I feel that we should speak more like that, so people don't have it as a stigma anymore. Hey, Champagne, what's good? What's cracking? Yeah, ask me some questions. Yeah, I was just telling Sanita, Miss Champagne, how I learned about my gifts. Like, I had to learn it from not just my grandmother, but my grandfather. And then I had to hear from my grandfather the family tree on spirituality and how it did connect to the things I'm doing right now. It's just that because I was young and the things that I was exposed to, it made me feel ashamed. Like, I felt like I was going against God or going against my ancestors or going against my own spiritual self. And then I realized, no, I'm not. I just had to push myself to say, this comes with it. Spiritual reading comes with who I am. I go to church still. I might not go a lot, but I go to church. I'm also auditioning to sing in the church and sing in local churches. I read that that joy that I have for God and Goddess wherever I go. And that's helping with my career as well, with my life mission as a healer. I love healing through the arts, and the arts is everything. Everything that has breath to me is an art. This is an art. How to display is an art. How to light a candle is an art. How to arrange a flower is an art. How to prepare tea is an art. How to make sage is an art. How to look at pictures is an art. We go to art galleries all the time and we're not even realizing we're doing tarot reading right there. When we go to sleep and we dream and we tell someone that we care about our dreams, we're not realizing that we're doing a spiritual reading on ourselves, that we're doing a dream interpretation on ourselves. So we've been always spiritual. We just haven't been exposed in the Western world as an academic or even as a actual profession, and that's my goal. And I'm going to continue that goal. All my ancestors passed away. Miss Champagne. My mother passed away when I was 19. So I had to raise me and my two brothers on my own. I had my mom's friends to help me along the way. And I had to see them as family because my mom passed away when I was 19. When I was 22, 23, my grandfather passed away. Um, I'm now getting acquainted with my biological father, but my mother was my family. That was the only one that, besides my grandfather, my mother, my grandfather, my uncle, my aunt was the only ones. My uncle passed away a year after my grandfather. I think 2 years after my grandfather passed away. A lot of my family members passed away. So me and my brothers, my two brothers and my daughter are really the living parts of the horn. The rest of them are cousins and aunts, but they live far away. So my immediate family had passed away. My extended family are alive. So I understand you perfectly. It is hard because now you got to recreate your family. You got to look at people that you have in your life as family and see if they are capable to be. That could be very strenuous, but it also helps us to know that we at the Ten of Water, that we are completing that path and that we got to trust it. Because a contented and rewarded family life, your emotional and material needs are met, trustworthy relationships is going to occur to us. Oh, wow, Miss Anita, wow, I'm so sorry about that. My prayers go out to you, Miss Anita. I know how that is. Especially when you have that connection and to know that that was a masculine energy that was helping you to understand masculine side of yourself, because in ourselves we have the masculine and feminine energies in us. We're both giving and we're both taking. We're both conquerors and we're both the conquered. We're both the suitor and we're both the ones to pursue. So I because it can be hard because it's like we living and we learning about yourself without that guidance there. It's like that's that rock. That's the rock. That's where our faith is learned. That's where our spirituality is learned. That's where we learn who we are is through our parent. And when the parent is not there, it's like now we can't. Now we have to be that parent. Now we have to remember what that parent did for us and become that in our own way without feeling like we're forgetting them, but letting them live through us, if I'm making any sense. Because everywhere I go, I have my mom live through me. Her name is Crystal. I have my daughter's father, when we were together, said, why don't you name her after your mother because you have a close relationship and she showed you who you are. And I said, you know what? At first I didn't want to because I was afraid, what if my daughter gets HIV like my mom did? What if my daughter has heartache like my mom did? I don't want her to go through that. And he was like, no, look at the positive things that your mom did. She was your rock. She's a lion. She was a Leo. She's, I mean, business savvy. Man, if you gave her a pencil, she can make it into a business. Very caring. Even when sick, she gave her all. She gave her all. And even when she cried at night, she didn't stop that from having her still love people. And that even to this day, I use that whenever I feel like giving up, whenever I feel like no one's going to understand me, or when people connect with me, they're only going to think that I'm only showing them a part of myself, and it's not true. She's like always there with me, like, no, baby girl, just keep being you, keep showing you, and it's going to be others just like you to appear. And that's exactly what's been happening on this channel and wherever I've been going. Yeah, Crystal with a K. Yeah, because she was into the letter K. She was into that letter K for king. You know, even though she was a woman, she was very masculine with her morals and with her family structure. So again, I definitely understand. These are the I was so I feel so blessed to have a mother, and I know Miss Sunita, you have to feel so blessed to have a dad that instilled in you all the tools that you can use now, all the tools that's going to help you survive, all the tools that's going to help other people be healed. He gave to you. You know, like a lot of people don't even have that luxury. A lot of people don't even have that experience. Let me read what Miss Champagne says. Uh-huh. Oh wow, you're August 14th, 1 plus 4, 5. You're about your life has always been about change. I could imagine, Miss Champagne. Your life has always been about changes and how to look at change and how to have it, how you can use it to your advantage. Yeah, Leos, y'all love hard. Y'all love hard. Like the sun, when the sun goes, it feels like shade, don't it? It feels kind of chilly, kind of nippy. Like when my mom didn't want to show me love, I was like, oh, what? How can I get back in your good graces? She's like, okay, be you, and or like be true, be honest with me. And the more she was showing me how to be honest with myself, the more I started to love and appreciate my mom. I didn't just see my mom as my mom. I seen her as my friend, my sister, my ace, my ride or die, even the one to get on my fucking nerves. I know I get on her nerves. I came out of her. I'm like her, so I know I had to get on her nerves. You know, like, yeah, we had to get on our parents' nerves because we are literally a spinning image of them. But forgive, because my mom was stern with me at times. I didn't think my mom loved me at times, but then I was realizing she was showing me how to be a warrior, because at times it's going to be a moments where you got to be a warrior. It's going to be at times where, yeah, you can be a nurturer, but then you got to make sure that who you nurturing is deserving of it, because Leos will definitely know who is earning it and who is worthy. They don't just give it to anybody, including Aries. I have an Aries brother. So imagine that, a Leo mother and an Aries brother. And they definitely both had to show me, like, if you don't feel good about it, then it ain't supposed to happen. If they're not treating you with respect and love, then baby girl, I guess they ain't for ya. And if you gotta show them, please do. Because it ain't nothing worse than a Leo mom or Leo father showing who you care about what time it really is. Like, they don't care about that person's feelings. Leos don't care how they sound, because they know it's coming from the heart. It ain't fake. Let me read what's up. Oh, your mom was an Aries Champagne? Yeah, so you already know. They about that business. They about taking charge. They ain't here. What you say? What? You said no? You said what? I can't do what? I what? Watch me. Watch me. That, and they do it too. And then they look at you like, and what? I did it, and what? I'm gonna do it again, and what? I'm gonna do it again and closer to you now, and what? They make a person re-look at what they just try to punk the person, try to punk an Aries on. Yeah, that hard love is good, and we forget that. And then when we live out here, we realize that that tough love, that real love, is the very principles that we actually gotta do in our lives right now. Ain't that funny? Like, the things that we complained about were the very things that we gotta use to make our lives better. Good thing we took the time to listen, or put it in our memory bank if we didn't want to get our ass whipped. Yeah, that fire energy, man. With an iron fist. Whew. Wow. Leo and Aries, that had to be a interesting duo in this Anita hole. Well, then you already know that you already got that element. You probably the one that helped even out the mood up in there. They were happy to make you. You help them to see that intuition, that spiritual side. Because one thing about Aries and Leos is that compassion and to trust in their intuition. They look for their siblings or they look for their children to bring it out of them. Because you notice how we're born into our families for a reason. Especially once you know your family's each sibling or family member zodiac sign, you start to see the characteristics of where you are really placed in and why you were there and why you are there. Cause at first, me and my Aries brother didn't get along. I used to think that why you gotta be so competitive? Why you gotta be so selfish for you? Why you gotta think for you? Why you just care about you? And he wasn't doing it in a negative way. He had to remind me through his actions and then eventually through his words, like, look, when you want something, people are not going to respect you if you don't earn it or try to get it for yourself. How are people going to know that you really say what you mean if you don't show that? You can't just say it and then renege. Aries don't renege on nothing. What they say, they gonna do. So he was teaching me, and mind you, I'm the oldest, so he was teaching me this without directly teaching me. It was just like I would always ask him questions where we were confronting, and even with my Leo mom, like at times, me and my Leo mom didn't get along. I used to hang up on my mom. First of all, I didn't live with her. Yeah, I lived with her, but when I started to get like 14 and I wanted to have, want to show that I was responsible, she said, well, if you could pay your phone, if you could pay a phone bill, or if you want to show that you're responsible, you can live with your grandfather, help him with the bills and how to manage it, then yeah. And when I did that, I had so much respect for my mom because she didn't stop me from moving out. It's not like I had to argue with my mom and I moved out. It was more like I just want to show my mom that I'm a woman and that I can make choices too, and that I could still respect her as her her daughter. And when I was showing her that, we would bond like nobody's business. Like at times, she would get on my nerves. I'll be at my house, and she, oh, I want you around, and I want you to. I said, well, Ma, didn't want me here at the beginning? Now you got free time. What's up? Well, your brothers get on my nerves. I said, well, you got them. You now you got to figure out. I was like, Ma, I don't want to hear this right now. She's like, Bobby, you say you love me. I like, I do. And then she want to, you know how Leos do. When they want you to like side with them, they'll make you feel like really bad that you dismissing them. Like, how can you dismiss the sun? How you gonna dismiss the sun? Do you know what I can do on planet Earth? I can make things go dead if you don't acknowledge me. I'm like, okay, okay. You know what? That is true. But just like the planet Earth, because I'm a Taurus, I could turn off the light and put the moon on for a second and then call you back up for the sun. Good day and hang up. Yeah, that was kind of rude. But my mom and I, when I showed her I was responsible, she started to like call me back like, girl, I was just mad. I was just playing. I love you. I was like, babe, ma, I love you too. But come on now. Your mouth, man. Leo, Leo. But I wouldn't take those memories. I would not trade those memories back for nothing, because that's the kind of relationship I want to have with my daughter. That's the relationship I have with my daughter now. I mean, we don't curse or nothing because she's not of that age, but to have that relationship with people I love. When you know you could ride out with somebody, you could be honest. Like if I can hang up on my own mom, and my mom can hang up on me. I gave my mom condoms. Okay, at 17, I was 17 years old. And like I said, my mom had HIV when she told me when I was 9 years old. I lost my virginity when I was 13. So when she found out when I was 14, after that, I was just more, I told her where I would go to get my checkups. I told her like, oh, I'm making sure to protect myself so I don't get unprotected disease out here. I would show her what I was doing to make sure that I was physically healthy. And she was like, wow, you're doing that? At first, she was scared because she wanted me to wait till I was married. But once I explained, like, Mom, I made the decision, but I made sure that I stayed healthy, and I looked at the pamphlets that you showed me when I was young, and I look up to you, Mom. Like, I want to live, and I don't want to explore my sexuality and regret it and have fears about it. I want to be safe, and whoever's going to do that with me got to be safe. So in a way, she was showing me how to be safe through her, living through, seeing how she had to struggle through her illness, and it made me appreciate our bodies a lot more. Like I don't mind sexuality. I don't mind sexuality. But when it comes to you asking me to take a risk on you when I don't know you, I'm not going to do that. You're going to have to wear a condom. And if I'm not going to be foolish, if I am having unprotected sex, we're going to the clinic so we could both check out if we are both clean. And we're going to put on that app now about every hospital is starting to have that app where you can check on your records. Now I'm going to see records like you see mine. Not to be on some I don't trust you, but I want you to be safe. And then when they ask me why am I so thorough, I'll be quick to tell whoever's in my life. Like my mom had HIV and she was married. So if I seen that in my mom and I had to watch her go through all the physical changes, and then, you could easily get sick, get colds, and that could be the death of you. So I don't want that. I want to enjoy my life and be healthy with it. So when that happened, I was like, nah. Yeah, I want to have sex, but I'm not happy with a condom. Oh, if we're not having sex without a condom, I'm depoing. I'm gonna depo it up. Yeah, we're gonna get our physical. Yeah, together. We're going to see the results together because we are a couple. And if you don't think we're a couple, then I ain't definitely messing with you. So again, learning the life lessons throughout childhood to now, learning my spirituality through my mother and my family and through my friends helped me to see that now when I look at red flags, I don't have to walk through that life no more. I can say, hey, you know what? I noticed that you want to do this for this reason. I don't condone that no more. And if you don't respect me, then that means you truly don't love me. If you don't love me like I love me, then obviously we're not meant to be. Doesn't mean I hate you. Because if I'd have stayed with you, eventually I would hate you. Eventually I would despise you. Eventually I would have actually questioned how you was even made. So rather than do that, I'm going to stop it where it needs to be laid. And if you notice when you do that, people will start to come back with so much respect for you. They start to want to give you that love. And it's so funny. Like, you got to give them the law. You got to do what your parents did to us when we were young. Like when we thought we could be beside ourselves, or when we thought we were grown, our parents showed us how grown we really weren't. So it's like we, in a way, spiritually, we got to show that too. Like, yeah, I'm spiritual don't mean I'm naive. I'm spiritual don't mean I'm not sexual. I'm spiritual don't mean I'm not sensual. I'm spiritual do not mean you can cross me. Because I got God and Goddess on my side. I have people that care about me, that wish me well, and that I wish them well. And if you're not for that, then you're not on my team. Good day. Now I don't feel bad about it. Before I cry still. Don't get me wrong, Sunita and Champagne. I still cry about it. But them tears leave room for healing. It gives me more. It's like when you know something, you cry. The moment don't feel good. But once it's over and you sleep it off, like a good ass whooping, when you go to sleep, you feel so much better when you wake up. When that happens, you have a new perspective, a new glow about you. You be like, you know what? I am the shiznick, and I'm stronger than I thought. I thought that was gonna break me. It didn't. I just had to believe it. I had to let that emotion come out. You know me? If I was doing boxing or playing basketball right now, I'd have let it out that way. Man, the life my mom had to show me, the life I had to see my mom go through, and the people I care about go through, I just took it into consideration. Like, I'm one of those people where when I'm with you, I'm walking in your life with you. I'm not going to ever tell you something like, oh, you need to do this because of this. Like, nah, I don't have no say on that. I value people's free will. And I think at times that's what scares me, because I wonder if I'm making the right decision. Because I look at people's free will. Meaning, I might love you, but if it's toxic right now, I got to let you go. Because I value your free will. It could be toxic because right now you want to do something in your life that I might not agree with. Does not mean that you're in the wrong. It just means right now I can't walk in that life while you practice that, because I know it's going to hurt my feelings or it's going to make me feel a certain way. Does that mean you got to change it? Nah. Because if I truly love you, when you come back to me or when I come back to you, you're going to already show me like, hey, that's just a part of me. I just had to go through that. Or it was a phase that I had to go through, and I didn't know it was a phase until you came into my life. But I'm so happy that you were strong enough for the both of us to let go, because you taught me how to let go when I need to. And it can translate even in our business. Like when we feel like something's not right in our business or what we got to do, we're going to have to make them hard decisions. So sometimes our loved ones actually give us a pre-practice. You feel me? Yeah. Man, that's all we've been doing is a release. Whoo, and the more release we get, the more stronger we're going to get, because we're going to become the 13th sign. That's what it's feeling like right now. Yeah, let it all come out, man. That's it. Listen to music. So I'm gonna do one more card. What should it be, guys? A past life card or another angel card? Because I'm on 15%. So I'm gonna have to. I didn't know I was on it at. I didn't know. I love the vibe. When I love vibes, you gotta literally get me off it. Cause I love to spread joy. I love that energy. I love having people have that energy and spread it wherever they go. That makes me love being a human. It makes me love being me in the mission that I have. It makes me excited to learn about you guys and y'all mission and what y'all learning and what y'all going through, because it's not a pretty thing. I'm optimistic. I'm a Taurus, and you see things half full. But at times the world don't make us feel like we see things half full. Sometimes I feel gritty. Sometimes I feel like being naughty. Sometimes I feel like being mischievous. And when I do, I try not to blame myself, but I look at my intentions first. Wow, you turning 30? Oh my God. Oh wow. Angel card. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out an angel card. So let's see. What does our masculine feminine energy want us to relearn? What does the what is our masculine and feminine energy want us to relearn? What does our masculine and feminine energies want us to relearn? Let's see. Wow, we went from a 10. We went from a 10 of water. We went from the 10 of water to the 7. So we went from from the 10 of water, that's the highest completion. And now we're going to our intuition. Not our intuition. We're now becoming our Libra selves. Now we're going to gather all the life experiences that we have of ourselves, all the things that we've seen as karmic lessons, and now we're going to use it in our waking life. We're going to see how we can use these 7 vices, these 7 abilities, these 7 talents, these 7 flaws of ourselves, and turn it into something magical, something worth diving into to find its beauty. And everybody around us is going to be at all to want to see where we get our inner strengths and where we get our inner knowing. We have choices. We're going to have so many choices that when we are ready, we'll know which one to truly choose. Look at which one comes out to you guys right now. Which cup comes out to you? I know for me, this one in the middle is sticking out to me. Even though I love all these colors, it's this one that is this right in my face with it. I thought of this one, but that one. Today, I'm going to put on Keykeys reference what each color could represent spiritually in our quest to help us along with that. A complex decision. Yeah, we have many options now. The need to do research. Stop procrastinating. Now we don't have to procrastinate. We already completed our mission. Now we're just trying to weigh how we're going to display all these 7 tools and abilities that we have. Because when we do that, when we finally make that decision on how we're going to rotate, like, choose one cup right now. But know that the 6 other cups you're going to have as rotation. You're making a path. 3 here, 3 here. Or 2 here, 2 here. 4. Or 3 here, 3 here. Sorry. 3 of your vices would be here. 3 of your abilities would be here. And that one, that source that drives all the others will be front and center. That's the one that we have to focus on. That's the one that you want to focus on, okay? So I'm going to put it up real close so you can see the colors. And we're going to check that out on Keykeys reference later on today. When we pick which one we want to start our life mission or our next destination on, with that essence with us, we're going to become the king and queen of water. We're going to be even more tenderhearted because we went through all the trials. We had cried enough. We had learned all we could. We had exhausted all our emotional strengths and all our spiritual strengths, and now we're left with just our will. When we're left with our will, we become empathetic to ourselves and others and become even more patient with ourselves. When that happens, love will come. And relationship development to a new level. Trust your intuitions. Care for yourself and others. That's what it's been telling us since the beginning of this reading, is to care for ourselves. My damn solo, it's blocked. Just look, my solo is probably blocking. I got to figure out how to unblock it, because that probably is the color for that. But I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out which each one holds, because that could be which each chakra is. Because we do have 7 chakras. So based on which one we pick could be which one we gotta heal, or not even heal, the one that we had to bring out. It's not that it does not need healing. It just needs to be coming out. It's like our sensuality. We think that we just need to have a boyfriend or girlfriend to bring out our sensuality. That's not true. We have to bring out our sensuality to know who we are in our personal, in our sacred strength, even when we display that in our interviews and our jobs. Yeah, Champagne. You was attracted to that color too? Ah. Oh, I am doing yoga. I'm doing a comedic yoga, so it's been helping, but again, it's something else deeper than that. So I like you said, I'm gonna have to do deeper yoga. So I just found out from Sunita and you, Miss Champagne, on which breathing technique to do next and which yoga to do next. So if you have any yoga suggestions, now would be the best time, because I'm gonna have to get off this channel for a minute because I'm already on 12%. Oh yeah, I spend time in nature. I'm next to water all the time. I need to go to the beach a little bit more, so I'm gonna start going to the beach since we are in the Queen of Water. Being surrounded by nature, around parks, around water, even air balloons, around air, like things that connect us to the air more. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing that, Miss Champagne and Miss Anita. Yes, definitely, Miss Anita. I'm going to spend more time in nature, and I'm going to start off. One of the elements I'm going to do is water, and I'm going to let y'all know the next time I do the live reading, how did that go? Yeah. So if you have any suggestions, Anita, what is a deep breathing technique? And Miss Anita, what is a yoga? What yoga do you suggest? Yeah, I'm gonna do the past life reading on August the 8th. Yeah, I think August the 8th is Wednesday, I think. I'm not sure, but August 8th is when I do the past life reading. Blessings to you guys. Blessings to you, Miss Lita. I'm gonna definitely, if you have any yoga, thank you. Thank you, Miss Lita. I was asking because I wanted to know that before I get off the channel. Sun sublation yoga. Okay. Sublation. Okay. Let me write that down right now. Yep, they give me that battery symbol. Hold on. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for coming to Kiki's Doorway. Thank you for walking with me and have me walk with you guys through the Akashi Records, because we're painting our future right now. We're painting our presence. The presence that we want to get in the now, we're creating it right now. Postures. Okay. I'm writing this down, Miss Sunita. Miss Sun. Yes. This August, we got to bring out that lion side of ourselves, that lioness, that prowler, that prowess. Hunt for what you want to get. Do it. Okay, guys? So until we meet again, I love you guys. I love you. And we will see you on the other side. Yes. Have a good night. I love you guys. We love you. Oh, I'm definitely going to YouTube that, Miss Anita. I'm YouTubing it. All right. Have a good night, guys. See you on Wednesday.